Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the Intelligent Moron with Alex Silva. If you've noticed, I had decided in this recent episode, and probably, forever, I think, to cut the music to the show. I decided to do all original content from this moment henceforth. No more music for the podcast. I feel like it was a good idea at the time. But as time goes on, things change. And I have realized that I do not actually like having opening and closing music on the episodes of my podcast. So from this moment henceforth, there will be no more music to open or close the show. I think that it stems from the top. I think that I just don't want to have that anymore. I want the show to be 100% original, not having to rely on providing music or another someone to provide music for the show. Maybe in the future I'll make another, or I'll actually create a opening and closing number for the show. But at this moment, I feel like that this show needs to be 100% authentic original content, and I will no longer be using music that I have to use that is not mine. So there will be no more music from other people opening or closing the show. This actually was a pretty easy decision, honestly, because I had listened to the show, pretty much every time I edit, cut it, whatever. And I've been putting the music in front and at the end of every episode of the show, and I just kind of got bored of it. I got tired of it. I got sick of it. I relied on it too much to kind of like ease people into the show, where I think that the best thing to do when it's a podcast is to just boom, open it up with my voice. And from, like I said, I'm going to do that from here on out. Unless I'm able to produce a really good original song myself, then I'll do that. But if I can't, then I'm just not going to have any music. I'm just going to let my voice and my ability to speak on a plethora of things carry the show. Because I feel like, as a podcaster, I have gotten a lot better at sounding more convenient than better at talking about random stuff for a long period of time, that it's actually become like a talent of mine. And I don't want to say that's a bad thing. I think it's a pretty good thing. I think it's a decent thing that I'm able to do this. A lot of people cannot do that. A lot of people cannot carry conversations with themselves for as long as I do. And I've done it for a very, very, very long time. I've had a lot of experience doing podcasts. So I feel like now that I have no opening and no closing music, and I know it's not even for that long of a duration of time for every episode, but now it's just like I got to hit the ball running. I'm no longer going to give myself a cushion to get the show going. It's just going to start and then end, cold opening, cold ending, you know what I'm saying? So yay for me. I think that this is a good move. Honestly, it's going to challenge me to be better at opening the show how I like to, because I think that it's a creative decision, right? I am a creator. When I really think about it, like every week I create the show. I create what I want to talk about. I create it through a program that is a software that is used to, upload audio and cut audio and, I could put effects in if I'd like to, sound bits, pictures if I like to. I could do all that stuff. I created the cover art for the show. I created the idea. I created the synopsis of the show. If you look up the synopsis for the show, and what it is all about. And I hope you understand that this is not at all a serious podcast. It never was and never was meant to be taken seriously. It's purely entertainment. So I hope that people understand that, hey, this guy sounds like he can be an idiot, right? It's kind of true. Like, I'm not like, I wouldn't say that I'm an idiot, but I like to talk about things that interest me, and I might not be the most qualified to speak on them, but I sure think that it is fun to get my opinion on certain things that interest me. You know, just talking about now, like being a creative, right? I take the time out of every week and every day to come up with ideas about the show and what to talk about on the show. Now, certain things interest me, certain things don't interest me. For instance, if you're new, politics don't really interest me. They just don't. To me, they're just annoying. I actually am sick and tired of news being about everything bad in the world. And a lot of things that get people jarred up and fired up is politics being never really good. It's always about bad stuff. And I just like to not really talk about that because it's always like a hot button issue, a hot button topic that usually just fires people up. And that's not really what the show is about. It's about escapism, really. It's about peeking into someone's brain and seeing how they think and how they tick and what their takes on about things are. That's really what I'm trying to aim for with this show and have been for a long time, for over like, shoot, man, for over 4 years now. It's been a long time doing the show. Like, it's a blessing. It's an honor. It's a gift. I cherish it greatly. I have a responsibility almost to entertain masses by myself. I am the sole producer, director, creator, star, talent of the show. It is all mine. Now, I have been involved in other things that have other people in the creative space, from college to other podcasts. And I know exactly how, some things can just not mesh right. Being the sole creator of this show gives me the privilege and the liberty and the responsibility of this all falling on me, right? This is all my creation from my own small brain. This is mine, whether it sinks or swims, right? It's all me. Now, I want it to swim freely like a beautiful dolphin, right? I would love to have that, Could you imagine somebody like me, right, producing this rinky-dink show about truly nothing, right? Just whatever's in my brain, right? And it becoming a massive hit. Now, I think that window might have passed by, but, you never really know how the world works. Some things can be popular one day and not another, right? You just kind of have to keep going and trying to keep that iron hot and still strike it while it's hot, if that makes any sense. So I'm trying to do that. And the first step, in the big creative change was cutting the music. I feel like it needed to go. I feel like it was time for it to go. I just was not feeling it anymore. I did not like uploading that file and hearing that before my voice anymore. So that's why I made the decision. Now, swinging it back to creativity and creative differences, I mean, that is a real thing. I have been a part of things in my life where, there are a lot of people, sometimes a lot is only two people, right? Where you have an idea, somebody else has another idea, and they all want to get their ideas into the project, whatever it may be. And sometimes it is really hard to have multiple ideas coexist in one particular vision. It really is. Trust me. I mean, like, whenever I see headlines of, TV show or movie not moving forward because of creative differences, I totally understand. I get it. In fact, I get it even more now, having had the life that I had, growing up, college, after college, podcasting. I understand that 100%. It really does take a toll on whatever you are trying to create. That is truly a thing where it could literally make or break whatever you guys or whoever is trying to create something that has creativity in it. It really is something that is sort of overlooked in the industry of entertainment, but it's very true. Sometimes scary. Honestly, like you think that you guys are able to move past these ideas or maybe, hash it out. But, sometimes you just want to be you. You want to make your thing, right? You want to take ownership of whatever it is, right? Do you honestly think that if you had partnered up, let's just say like this is you know, um, a movie, right? We're going to make a movie and you decide, that it needs two writers to write this movie. You hire someone like Aaron Sorkin, brilliant writer, Social Network, West Wing, right? Very, very well, good writer. And then you partner him up with somebody like Ryan Johnson, a very misdirecting writer who wants you to kind of think along with the movie that's being shown on screen. And you want them to come together to create a screenplay for a new movie, right? You best better believe that those guys are going to be butting heads on what should and what shouldn't go down in this movie or how it's delivered in the movie. You best believe that. I mean, that's why most movies have usually one or two writers at the most. And if they have two, they pretty much got to be 100% on the same page and pretty much like a carbon copy of each other. That way they don't really have that many differences. That way they don't really have that much problems when it comes to writing a movie. That happens. It's weird to it's crazy because we always want to agree with each other, right? As human beings, we when we connect with each other, when we talk with each other, right? No matter who it is, a friend, a coworker, a significant other, we want to find that connection where we can agree on something, right? We don't want to disagree. Disagreeing is something that we don't do or handle very well. No, none of us do, because that creates conflict and tension and conflict. And we don't like that as people. We, for the most part, want to seek a common ground with each other. At least I do. I always do. I'm never somebody who wants to, create some friction or tension with another person. I just don't want to do that. To me, that is something that if it's avoidable, then let's avoid it, right? And if it's something that, is not avoidable, then me as a person will just happily and respectfully walk away from whatever situation that may be, because I just don't want to create that kind of tension. That's not the kind of person that I am. Really isn't. Like, I think that's kind of like more common in people than we think, than we might think. Like, most of us just don't want to create problems and tension with one another. I just feel like that's something that is kind of like inside of every human being. Like, I just don't want to step on anybody's toes, in the sense of like trying to better somebody. At least that's how I view it. I mean, I certainly don't want to do that because maybe I'm too nice of a person. Maybe I just want to make too many people happy or not have so many people mad at me, but it's just like I don't want to have to deal with that type of stuff, because if I can avoid it, I will, in order to keep like a good relationship with that person. I would just, not want to create that kind of tension. At least that's just how I see it, like, so it's hard being a creative out there, not having, if someone's not on the same page with something else, it's like, dang, like this is a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. And then we try to, make everybody happy, try to see, how can we solve this problem? Sometimes it can't be solved. It's unfortunate, but sometimes they cannot be solved, which is not good, I just think that, as human beings, we're creatures of community. We're creatures of relationships and intimacy and connections with other human beings. And we are at our strongest when we can work together, right? If you guys remember the Rise of the Planet of the Apes, right? In the movie, Caesar, the smart ape, who makes all the other apes smart by the gas that makes human beings sick, would always say that apes, you know, um, apes alone weak, but apes together strong. Same with human beings. Alone we are weak. Together we are strong. You know? That's what I think it makes us great as people. I mean, dude, just look at the Roman Empire, dude. Look at the Roman Empire. Any empire that's ever existed in the ancient history, right? Greece, Rome, Egypt, China, all those dynasties, like when those like empires were at their highest power, all the people like in the empire or kingdom or whatever the heck were all together, and they created something that was so freaking, awesome. Build structures, build castles, monuments, pyramids, and stuff like that. Do you honestly think that it took like only a few people to make those pyramids? No, I mean, like, the history books say, like, it probably took like so many people, under one belief system and under one ruler to build those pyramids. And that's awesome. That's freaking cool. Like how people could just, band together to create something that's just crazy to think that would never be accomplishable in times like that. But it was. It's crazy to think about. What's crazy also is, completely segueing from that is the amount of car colors, like colors you can choose for your car, are out there. Now, I am a very like somebody who does not like to stick out so much in a crowd. I'm not that type of person. When I bought my car, I went with a very generic color. I went with silver because I did not want to have a crazy color car that would drive that much attention to my car. I did not want that. I didn't want a red. I didn't want a blue, yellow. I mean, I don't see a lot of green, but there are some green cars. I think that a lot of people, and I don't think it's because like I don't think it's because they're boring. I just don't think that they want in the long term to have a car that is like a very bright and vibrant color when they're driving, and that car is theirs. I think a lot of people, when they go car shopping, they want a simple color. I'm talking like black, white, silver, gray, charcoal, like maybe a dark navy blue. Like those to me are like the acceptable colors that you can get for a car. Like those are the colors that, you look and you're like, yeah, like that's like the shade that like is not going to piss a lot of people off, right? Because some people could be like, they could just not like, how bright your car is. It could be distracting for some people. It's something that you don't think that is going to piss people off, but it could actually piss people off. I'm a believer in freedom of choice, right? Of like whatever color car you want. Hell, you can go with pink, but you got to admit, like to some people, it's going to be annoying, right? And there's nothing wrong with having a silver car, having a black car, having a white car, right? A darker color car. There's nothing wrong with that. There's also nothing wrong with red either. But you got to admit, it is a little distracting. You do definitely look at it more. And you know what? It's the same thing how I feel about like, with certain like tattoos, right? I see people with certain tattoos and I'm like, dang, I would never get that. But hey, that's cool that you have it, But I'm living my world in my life. I'm like, dang, I wouldn't get that. I would not get that. I mean, like, cool, bro. Like, that's cool that that you got that, but I wouldn't get that if I'm being completely honest. Um, like a neon green car. Would anyone actually get that? What I don't think I would. You know, it's cool to see in like movies, stuff like that. Like in Transformers, they had like some pretty exotic colored like cars and stuff like that, like a yellow, a neon green, I think. There might have been like a pink car or something like that. But no, I'm more like, give me like a silver or a black. Maybe not a white, but like a silver or a black, or maybe a dark gray. Like that to me, those are fine. Those aren't going to be so distracting like on the freeway or just like in a parking lot. I understand, everyone wants to have something that stands out, which I totally respect, and like the more power to you. But also, like, I feel like I have a little bit of a service to other people and like not have something that's super distracting. Now, of course, like, I do want to live my life and I want to be, as vibrant as I would like to be. But at the same time, like, I need to make sure that I'm not a menace to society. I really need to make sure that I'm in check. I don't want to have something that's going to be completely distracting or annoying to people. I could you imagine, right? Like, I hate the people that put like, let's say your car is like very dusty, very dirty, right? Somebody puts on it like uses their finger to write "wash me" on the windshield or whatever. Like do you honestly think that that's the owner of the car, or some troll that like was passing by at the mall parking lot? It's like, you know what? This car could use a wash. I hope the owner sees this. Boom, put it on there like that. I don't know. Maybe. But maybe also the owner could just be having fun with it. But wash me, But we've all kind of been there, right? We've all been there when our car needs a wash badly, but we don't want to wash it. It's like that, that internal laziness that takes over every day in our lives. Like, oh, I gotta shower, but man, I don't want to. It's like that for your car, but you can get away with it more with your car because your car is not going to stink like dust. It's just not. You will stink. And you will have to leave your house and you will need to shower. Sorry, all you filthy animals out there, but you need to shower. Your car, sure, it looks dirty, but you can kind of get away with that, for a while. A lot longer than you can without showering. Showering is a no-no. In my opinion, we should be showering at least once a day. Everybody, at least once a day. Twice if you can. Twice is beautiful. 2 showers a day, phenomenal. You're clean, you're hygienic, there's nothing growing on you. You should always smell good. You shouldn't have any issues with odor or scent or grease. Like, you should be squeaky clean at that point. You really should not have any issues. Some people don't shower every day. It's true, but it's bad. It's true though. They don't shower every day. Why? I have no idea. If I was them, I would be showering 3 times a day just to catch up with their hygiene. There's no way that there are people out there that walk around in public and smell terrible. I'm not even kidding you. They walk around in public, in other people's faces, walk by, walk in front, walk behind, and they smell terrible. I almost look at them, I look at them because I know like this stench, this horrible odor is coming from them, and I look at them, and I kind of like to kind of scope them out a little bit. Like, I like to kind of like see like, yeah, that makes sense. I mean, look at you. You clearly don't care about yourself. Get the hell away from this guy. And just, run for the hills at that point. I don't want to be by anybody that smells badly at all. Now, if you park next to a dirty car, you don't care. You can care less because that's not going to disturb your life. Sure, it might be an eyesore. Sure, it might be like kind of annoying to see passing by, Or let's say it's a bright yellow car. Sure, it might kind of make you like, ugh, why would anyone get that? But it's not going to, internally scar you. Like someone who stinks scars me. It makes my life miserable. And if I have no way out, if I have like no clear way like to avoid that smell at that period of time, I'm holding on for dear life at that point. I'm looking away, I'm looking up, I'm like trying to like pretend I'm sneezing in my shirt just to get a whiff of like my cologne at that point. I'm like, this is terrible. Like I cannot breathe by this person. This person is preventing me from living life. In fact, inhaling oxygen, I just can't with this guy. It's disrespectful. People who smell are disrespectful. They are. They hinder and make my life harder. It really is kind of something that you don't think about too often, right? As human beings, we are the kings of the planet. We don't have anyone who's views us as food, as like, a supply of food. We're not a part of anyone's food chain. We were, but not anymore. So we have no natural predator. We are safe from all other lives on Earth because we've conquered the planet. We are, we are our own worst enemy, I guess, In other words, like animals are not going to kill humans. We kill humans, right? So when we have like any sort of like, obstacle in our lives that harms our way of living, in this case, stinky people, like it really is like whoa, like I got to get away. Like, whew. It's almost like back in the day, like you would see a bear and you're like, run, right? Now, smelly guy, get the hell out, evacuate, right? But it's, it's not just like, with the car thing, it's with people too. And you just gotta hope for the best. You can only pray to God that everybody at least is keeping up with their hygiene, brushing their teeth, combing their hair, just simple things, I don't want to live in a world where I have to I almost like need to walk away from this person in order to breathe the oxygen in the air, Moving on though to a little bit of a deconstruction of two ways of working out at the gym that I've noticed. That one that I think is foolproof and is true and has always been the best way to work out versus the alternative. And, this is the difference between like free weights versus machinery at the gym, right? I am not a person who picks machinery over free weights willingly. I have, though, because I have become impatient when it comes to gym. I like to get in and get out in a very efficient way. I've kind of gone back on that. I enjoy taking my time, lifting weights, doing cardio, getting strong. And as much as we like to, as much as gyms like to have so many machines to work out a certain part of the body in terms of weightlifting, the most popular, the most true, the most used ones are still like free weights. Like the classic bench press is one of the most popular things at a gym. Now, depending on your gym, you could have a giant gym, you can have a medium gym, you can have a small gym. Usually, throughout the day, the bench press is always being taken up and usually is always occupied, right? And maybe has like even like people eyeing it, watching it, looking at it, passing by like, I'm going to use that later, or, oh, it's free now, let me get on it now. Or maybe after my cardio, but they always have it in mind that they're going to use it. Now, in my case, I had started using the bench for working out my chest. I moved on to a machine that was always open because at this time of day, the bench presses were always taken up. And I'm like, whatever, I'll use the machine. It does the same thing. After a long time of using the machine, I noticed that I wasn't really feeling any like a lot of workout and a lot of like muscle growth in the area where I should be. Now I don't know why, if it was because I wasn't positioning my arms correctly, spread out apart, or maybe I wasn't raised enough, or the back support wasn't far back enough. I don't even know. I just, for a while, I felt like it wasn't really doing anything. And then I went back to the bench press and I was able to up the weight on that. And I realized like this is targeting the area so much more, right? My pectorals a lot more than that machine does. And I mean, I can't really explain it, but it just does it way better. And I've been using that for a while now. And I've noticed like, hey, the pectorals are actually, I think are working out a lot more with the bench press than the machine. And I was like, how is this possible? Is the machine like supposed to be something that is, just an alternative? Like it's not going to work it out fully? Was I not using it correctly? Was I not lined up properly? Because with the bench press, it's like natural, right? You know how it's supposed to work and where to position it at and where to put your hands at. That's going to work out the specific parts of your chest. And with the machine, it didn't feel like I was achieving that at all. Like I was, up in the weight and everything, but I wasn't feeling the burn where I was supposed to be feeling the burn. And I don't know if it was the positioning or the way it was angled, whatever. It just I wasn't targeting the area that I wanted to fully. And then going to the bench press, I'm like, oh yeah, this feels so much better, so much natural. And I haven't gone back since. And I've noticed that my chest has gotten a little bit more muscular and not as fatty. And like whenever I flex, I'm like, oh, like this is coming in nicely, boys. Like this is like where I'm like trying to be, strong, and appear powerful like the Hulk. But I wasn't getting that with the machine. Now, I don't know if I was using the machine fully correctly how it was supposed to, but I just noticed that with the free weights and the bench press, it's a lot easier. You feel it a lot more. I think that's why they're so popular, so much better, because it's the true way to work out. What I was doing before is like just not really, going to it's not going to hit the same way as it would if you do the actual bench press itself. And I noticed that with like curls too. Like if I don't use like some dumbbells or a bar, like a free weight, doesn't hit as much. It really doesn't. I think it's also what I'm really starting to pinpoint here now too, is even my triceps. Like the machine to me is just not really targeting the triceps how I would like it to. Like I think I need to just start doing like, dips on the bench or something, or just getting like, a dumbbell and doing some like triceps exercises like that, because I'm putting on weight like on the machine to increase how much I am dipping, right? Like dipping as like the physical movement. And it just doesn't seem like it's targeting the area that I want it to. I don't know what it is. I'm not feeling it. So I've hacked and I've seen the light with the bench press. That is a go-to. Like that is like what I need to be hitting all the time if I'm going to, see results and be consistent with developing my chest area and getting this to feel stronger and to look stronger. Now I need to apply the same thing to the triceps and even to the shoulders. With the shoulders, I use a machine as well, but I'm not feeling where it's supposed to be targeting. Either I'm not doing it correctly, I'm not positioned well. I'd rather do it with free weights where it targets it, pretty much like there's no way to get around it, than a machine that could cover it up. I really do think that should be a study done on like machines and weightlifting and how you can be on them for so long and not get any results because you're not doing it exactly how it needs to be done, which is not really shown in the instructions on the sides of the machines. And looking it up is kind of a pain in the ass, I'll be honest. Whereas bench pressing is like, it's kind of natural when you think about it. Like, you don't want the bar to fall on your chest, so you just got to kind of like lift it up in the most natural way. But that in the most natural way and position works out what you're targeting. So I don't know. That's just kind of been like my realization, and now in my new goal as becoming physically fit to get stronger and to gain more muscle is like free weights are like the way to go. I saw a interview with Hugh Jackman. If you don't know who Hugh Jackman is, he plays Wolverine in the Marvel movies, right? He's strong as hell. He's super strong. And he has always been preaching that free weights are the way to go. They, prevent injuries because you're not going to go as hard as with free weights as you would probably with a machine. With the machines, you can kind of misunderstand it, misjudge it. Boom, you're injured, right? Free weights, you kind of like, you know what your limit is and what you can do. And you're not going to go past what you can do because it's a free weight. And you don't want to drop that thing. So, like, honestly, if this guy can be as shredded as he is and as jacked as he is when he's, working out for Wolverine, and he doesn't use any weird, crazy machines and just does free weights, like, I'm going to just do that. I'll be honest. Like, I'm not even going to touch a machine again. I'm going to try my very, very best to not touch machines and just go at it purely free weights. So I'm going to make that goal, like in the future, to just do free weights and bench pressing, and that's it. Now, that doesn't excuse me from the fact that I also have a lower body that I got to take care of as well. Now, as a man, right, we neglect our lower bodies, our legs, a lot. I really do. There is no doubt that if you were to see me, you would laugh at me. You would say, I'm the prime example, I'm not even kidding you, of you missed leg day, or you could use a leg day. I'm not even kidding. Like, it is at the point where my legs are like toothpicks. And it's like, I view it like this, right? And this might not be the way to view it, but this is how I view it. My legs are used for transportation. I get around with my legs perfectly fine. I can walk, run, jog, climb, uphill, downhill, through a store, in a park. My legs do the job. Now, they don't look very strong, but they do the job. But that's how I think most men view their legs, is like, they just get me from one place to another, We just don't really care about our legs. We just don't. But, that doesn't excuse the fact that they look, terrible. I mean, they do. I mean, like, geez. I mean, I've seen myself in the mirror and I'm like, whoa, I don't have legs. Jesus. So I need to, and this is, just trying to be better for myself and for my physique and my health. I need to concentrate more on my legs. I really do. But it's hard to when I don't care about them. So I need to find my why. I need to find my care for my legs, because they are a part of me as well. Just as my arms are, my chest is, my shoulders, my back. That's all part of me. I cannot neglect the lower half of my body. I don't want to look like Johnny Bravo out there. If you guys don't know who Johnny Bravo is, look him up, right? You can probably make the comparison from me to him. I have black hair, but he has blonde hair, but you get me, right? Just do yourself a favor. Look up Johnny Bravo and you'll know what I'm saying. If you don't know how I look like, you've never seen me before. If you look up Johnny Bravo, you will be like, oh, that's who we're talking about. Yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate, but it's kind of true. But I that's like my own battle I got to deal with too. Like I mean, like, what am I gonna do? Like do like these squat exercises? Like, to me that just sounds silly. But I know that I should do them because it'll make me well-rounded, strong. Maybe I'll just start with my body weight squats and do those more often, and see where I can improve on from there. But I just don't like doing squats either. Like, it's a weird thing. I don't know. I just don't like doing squats. I walk up a treadmill every day for a long time, and I would feel like that would work out my legs pretty well. I guess not, you know? So I got to add some more, maybe just more squatting and more, I don't know, lunges or something like that, just to get them more toned up and muscular. I mean, trust me, dude. I mean, like, I'm in such a battle with my physique. Like, geez, you have no idea the uphill battle that I go through every day. All right. I've lost so much body fat that it's like almost impossible for me to gain muscle, but I'm gonna have to find a way. I don't know what it is, but I'm gonna have to find a way. Maybe it's my diet that I gotta change, completely overhaul it. I don't know, but maybe I should. I gotta figure out a way. But it's a work in progress. I'm not like stuck, but I know what's ahead of me, and I'm like, dang, I gotta make these changes, because if I don't, then shoot, I'm like a freaking twig for the rest of my life, which I cannot have. Moving on though, to a little bit more different topic than what I've been covering in the past today. And I've told you guys this before too. Like, really, I have. And I don't know how much longer this is going to continue, but Instagram is freaking insane. I mean, I was on my For You page, my Explore page on Instagram, just scrolling. I was bored. And I stumbled across a video of somebody making pancakes. Didn't see who it was, just a video of, making them, serving them, pouring syrup on them and butter, and then cutting them. And I was just like mesmerized. I'm a huge pancake guy. Pancake is probably my favorite, like, breakfast pastry of all time. And I think that it is considered a breakfast pastry. I don't think that, I mean, what the hell else would you call it? What would you call a pancake? You call it a breakfast pastry. Maybe breakfast dessert? Maybe, but like, it's something like, it's a sweet item. It's a sweet thing. Syrup, right? I mean, that's sweet, come on. But I saw a video on my For You page, right? I tapped on it, and I exit out of it, and it's got the multi, tile screen. I scroll down a little more. I see more and more pancake videos. Listen, I think that this algorithm that they have on Instagram is dangerous. I mean, like, this thing is just like scary to be on. It is scary to be on. I don't like being on it. The more I'm on that app, the more I'm like, I need to get off this app. I don't need to be on here. This is stupid. Why am I on here? Why? It's so dumb. Like, if you think about it, dude, social media is so stupid. It's the dumbest thing ever. You know what's cool is real life. Talking to people is cool. Like, I'm lucky that I get to work with, like, a lot of different people, and I get to talk to people every day about things, work and non-work. And dude, like, that is freaking, I know it's work and it's boring as hell and it's stupid as sometimes, but dude, it's so much better doing that and then chilling with your friends on your free time than anything that social media can offer. Anything. I hate social media so much. And like how much it wants you to be on it every single freaking day that you're on it. Every second you're on it, it's trying to get you to stay on it for more and more seconds. Dude, I mean, this might just be me being an unk, but social media is stupid. It is stupid, bro. It's not just stupid. I'm throwing it back to some old school slang, bro. And I'm not going to say the word because I'll get in trouble, but social media is GAY. For real, dude. It is so stupid. And now it's just like it's just even stupider. Like it's the stupidest thing I've ever seen in my life. Anything, any slight interest that you might have that one day, it'll feed you more and more and more of that to keep you on that stupid app. I hate it. I freaking hate it, dude. So what I'm gonna do is just not be on it. Like I'm just gonna read books and watch movies and like have fun. That's it. Isn't that like the dream though? You know, when you think about it, like entertainment wise, like for the most part, for a long time, movies and books and TV were like held as like the great forms of entertainment, and then live sports would be another one like of entertainment. Now it's just social media. Whatever you find on there is like the highest form of entertainment right now. So stupid and annoying. It's really dumb. But you know, I will admit, as dumb as it is, I enjoyed the pancakes videos. I really did. But then I took a step back and I looked at it and I was like, I examined it from afar and I'm like, these freaking people are just trying to get me to waste more time. I hate them so much. Instagram, Meta, Facebook, X, man, I hate them so much. God. Hey, I mean, like, this is just the world that we live in, just trying to navigate it day by day. Day by day, I navigate it differently than the next day. It's almost like an ever-changing game. It's always different. It's never the same. There's always newer and different videos every single day on social media that are not the same as the day before, that appear in your algorithm and that appear in your feed, your timeline, your For You page, whatever you want to call it. And it is just like, boom, like, what the heck? What's going on? Why? I don't know. Maybe it was just like what it thinks I'm going to think of the next day. And if we're at that part, ladies and gentlemen, where where we can like see and view and predict that social media AI is predicting what we want to view on Monday, on Tuesday, Wednesday, for the following week, the following month, boy, we're in trouble. Jesus Christ, we are in trouble. I mean, like, hey, it's not going to stop me from my love of pancakes. Don't get me wrong. I love pancakes still, but geez, we need to, this has got to stop, dude, for real. You know what really has to stop? You know what's actually something that I can't believe is actually shown on TV? And this is coming from a person that doesn't really watch a whole lot of TV. And usually when it is TV, it's sports. Like, I don't watch a whole lot of live actual network television anymore. Besides live sports, like when football's around, like I'm watching football and I'm watching Monday Night Football, Sunday night, Thursday night, Saturday night, you know, any type of football I'm watching, college, professional, I'm going to watch football. Same with basketball. When basketball's in playoff mode, I'm watching the basketball playoffs all the time. Baseball, when baseball's heating up, I'm watching baseball. So I get ads and commercials that are curated for the male viewer and the male sports fan, typically. So I'm getting like commercials on cars, commercials on, you know, insurance, commercials on credit cards, commercials on beer, stuff like that, right? Now, when I'm at the gym, I get like a neutral, you know, channel, like daytime television channels. And I just saw an ad for full body deodorant. I think the brand was called Lumi or Loom. There's no audio, so I don't really know how it's pronounced, but it was a commercial for full body deodorant. And one of the shots is when a woman just has her feet right up at the camera, saying like, this deodorant is for my feet. It is for my ass crack. It is for my stomach. It is for my nether region and my armpits and underneath my boobs. And I'm like, what the hell? This is a wild commercial. This is insane. First of all, full body deodorant. When did that become a thing? Why did that become a thing? Is that even safe? Does it work? I mean, like, deodorant was just made for your armpits, right? We had cologne for everything else. These must be some really stinky people to have full body deodorant, like where it's like actually needed. Like, oh man, my stomach rolls, they get kind of stinky, so I need some full body deodorant. I gotta put that on. My feet, Jesus, man, they're a problem, so I gotta put some deodorant on my feet. Like, what the hell has happened to us? I don't remember this ever being an issue back then, where we needed full body deodorant. Like, this is just insane. And the way these commercials, right? They're so like freeing. They're so liberating. They're so like out there. And I guess their whole objective is to show where you can put this full body deodorant on and make it known to you that, hey, if you got a smelly ass, you can put this up your ass and it'll make you smell good. Like, how about you take a shower? How about you just stay hygienic? Take a shower every day, wipe well, right? You wouldn't have to buy this. I mean, do you really want your ass smelling like flowers? Think about that. I don't know. Maybe you would. Maybe it would be pleasant. Like, wow, you smell good. Like, thanks, that's my ass. Like, no. Who wants that? Who wants to explain that? I mean, I don't mind explaining to people that this is my cologne. Now, I would mind explaining, hey, this is just my full body deodorant. Right now, you're smelling my ass. Like, that smells good, huh? Like, no, I wouldn't want that. I wouldn't want that at all. Could you imagine that? Could you imagine that conversation with somebody? Like, hey, you smell good. Yeah, I put some deodorant on my stomach and like, Now I smell like a bouquet of flowers. Or I smell like a beach paradise. You should smell my feet. They smell like seashells. Like, no, that's stupid. I can't believe that actually exists. I really cannot believe that. Maybe I'm just late to the party on this. But these commercials are just like, they're very, very like, they want to show you where exactly you can apply this in the most safe for TV way without being too much TMI. Like, I don't need to see where this is going. I understand, all right? You don't need to show me where this is going, please. For the love of Christ. Enough is that. This is daytime television, by the way. Children could be watching this, right? This is just stupid. Like, I mean, I don't know. First of all, the invention of it is just, in my opinion, stupid. Just take a shower. This honestly gives people a reason not to take a shower. Full body deodorant? Are you kidding me? You're literally giving somebody a reason and a backup to not take a shower. That is not okay. I'm just going to say it right now, that is not okay. That is not something that we should be funding, that they should be putting out. It's not good. Because think about it. People like to put on deodorant when they have not taken a shower. Now, they know that this is just a cover-up. They know that this is something that could probably get them by a couple hours by not smelling like BO for a little bit. It will eventually overpower your deodorant, though. Your deodorant will fall. They will lose this battle to your body odor. Now, think about this. This full body deodorant exists. You can literally spray it on every corner of your body and kind of get away from get away with not taking a shower. This is giving people an out to not be hygienic. And that I am not okay with. I'll be honest. Loomy, whatever. I don't support that. I'll be honest. And I would not be caught dead buying beach-scented, full-body deodorant. I'm not going to do it. You see freaking commercials, right? They're trying to be all manly, too. They only got the rub-on one, but they got the spray one, too. They got literally guys freaking opening up their drawers, spraying down there. A mist just going down to your manhood, engulfed in mist, in beach-scented mist, going down to your manhood. Men, this is not okay. We cannot have this. I get it. You want to smell nice. You want to smell good. Not this way, though. This can't be the only way. We got to find something more natural, more manly. Something. I don't know. Get like a... I don't know. There's got to be something. Get some pine needles. Make something. Rub it around. Don't do that. That might not be good. But we got to find something not as weak looking as that. The image of the man just opening his drawers, spraying the mist down into his manhood was just like, oh, brother, what have we become? How the world of men has fallen. It's come to this now. Tragic. Speaking of tragic, though, Call of Duty just released trailers and a breakdown of their new Black Ops 7 campaign. And I gotta say, man, like I had zero hope for this, about this being any remotely any good. Like at any point, like going to appeal to my dumb brain. And I'm pretty dumb. Like, I'm really dumb. I've spent the past 4.5 years talking into a mic, being dumb, but sounding good while doing it. Sounding at least professional doing it. And I gotta tell you that this game made me feel even dumber than how dumb I had felt before. This game looks like the stupidest thing that I've ever seen in my life. Now, they're going for like this trippy psychological psyop type thrill ride madness campaign type of thing that's in the year 2025, where you're essentially fighting a giant company that is making robots and stuff like that, and fear is the weapon. They're weaponizing fear. I mean, like, this is just like something that is so far out there that you would never have thought that the people who made Call of Duty way back then, when it was a World War II game about men serving in the military, going above and beyond the Call of Duty, and now we're here. Black Ops 7. Call of Duty Black Ops 7. It's a disgrace. It's disgusting. It is stupid, useless, flat out dumb, and a waste of everybody's time. I cannot believe that this is called Call of Duty. Now, the campaign already looks really, really bad. And I mean, like, stupid, pointless, and just like, what are we doing? Like, we are wasting everybody's time with this. The multiplayer was not even revealed. Warzone wasn't even mentioned. Battlefield just had their open beta conclude. Everybody seems to be wanting more Battlefield 6. And Call of Duty lays this absolute goose egg to the public after Battlefield. Boys, I can just say it right now. Call of Duty lost. This year, Call of Duty has lost. It's over. It was over when Battlefield 6 had their trailer come out, when they had their open beta, week 1, week 2, even with the early access. It was over then. Then Call of Duty released their trailer for their campaign. Multiplayer reveal in a couple weeks. yada, yada, yada. But like this thing that they had a few days ago sealed it. Like this marks that was essentially the digging of the grave of Call of Duty for this year. It's over. They lost. There's no coming back. I mean, you could bitch and moan all you want. You can complain all you want. All you Call of Duty fanboys can bitch all you want. But you could just read the discourse, read the comments on this video, read the posts on X. The community has spoken. Like, this is not something that anybody wants to play. It's been pretty much, already been like with it being Black Ops 7, how the game is going right now. Like, people are very turned off on the franchise, and what they have put out these past few days has only turned off people even more. So who killed Call of Duty? Call of Duty killed Call of Duty. Like, this is the biggest self-burial grave digging I've ever seen. Like, they just literally like dug their own grave with this, whatever they released. It was so stupid. They put out a trailer for it, 2.5 minutes. Putrid, terrible, horrific, vile, like just bad shit, right? Then they put out a 17-minute video explaining what the hell they put out. Because we're like, what the hell is this? What am I even playing? What are you? You're not Call of Duty. I don't know what this is. This is crap. I'm sorry to say, but it's crap. Like, I don't want to be mean. I really don't. But I can no longer support that. I can't get behind it. I can't give it a chance. I can't. And I won't. And I think a lot of people are aligning with me in that sense. Like, we won't and we can't. We can't do it anymore. We cannot do it anymore. This is it. And they're going to take the L in this year. This year will be, I'm just going to call it right now, this will be the biggest L Call of Duty has ever taken since 2016, when they lost to Battlefield 1. They will lose again this year to Battlefield 6. They will lose. It's already in the making. It's going to happen. They need to take this L, take it on the chin, right? You take the punch. You lost. This is it. You lost this one. You lost. Now come back better. Now, they've responded to this discourse of them being lazy. Their game doesn't look very good. It doesn't. There's gameplay out there. The game does not look very good. It looks like crap. And they just said that they want people to have fun. But I'm like, you need to do more than that. Your game hasn't been fun in a while. We're not having fun. The game isn't fun to play. The game doesn't feel like it's taking any effort to make. When you're going to charge $70 for that, you have to earn our fun. You have to earn us having fun. I'm sorry, but you haven't earned it yet. Battlefield is looking to earn it. You're not. So you guys need to shut the hell up and put some effort into it and earn our fun. Earn it. You have to. Anyways, that's going to be it for me today. People, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Remember, you can find this podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube at Intelligent Moron with Alex Silva. New episodes drop every Thursday morning. Make sure to like, subscribe, rate, review, and do all the good stuff. And yes, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Now, we'll see you guys next week.